I'm in jail because of stink bugs. These little bastards are the worst thing to ever happen to me, even before my incarceration. There's a world of people, ugly, dumb, evil people, people the world would be better off without. The rapists, the liars, the bankers, the shifty contractors, and even people that DDoS video games. But none of them are as bad as these little fucking bugs. I'd forgive any one of the aforementioned crimes if someone were to send these bugs to extinction. Last fall, these things became overbearing. Ohio has seen an insurgency of these disgusting little assholes. I lived with my father and older brother, and we were having a sliding glass door put on the back of our house. My father, being ever the cheapskate, hired an unlicensed contractor. You'd think after 6 years of law school, he'd be wiser than that, but no. Turns out, Jose was cheap, but not good, if Jose even was his name. My dad, also being ever the gullible Mark, paid Jose in full, up front, the whole asking price. When the quality of work was questioned, Jose split, leaving a vaguely rectangular-shaped hole in the back of our house, and I do mean vaguely. As you might have guessed, it was impossible to keep out the stink bugs. At first we struggled to keep the gross immigrants out with sheets of plastic and duct tape. When one completely sealed sheet across the rectangular-esque hole wasn't enough, we doubled up, then tripled up. Still they got through by the dozens like wetback stowaways in a van with tinted windows and kilos of coke. The analogy reigns true. These Satan spawn weren't even native to America. They were stowaways on cargo from Asia. Then some filthy moron that couldn't smell them must have forgotten to spray the cargoes with pesticide and boom. The population boomed. So yeah, the analogy is so good that it's not even an analogy. My father seemed resigned to letting them in, to stink up the house. Meanwhile, I couldn't leave the house without taking a shower. Father complained about the water cost, but I wasn't going to leave the house smelling like that, no matter how many times he told me it was in my head. The shower started to have a number of stink bugs as well, which I'd kill out of hand with gloves. I had a box, a small box, a wooden box, with cleaning gloves in them. Gloves I'd use to kill the infestation with. That's what I used in the shower. But in my room, I had air freshener cans, vanilla smell, and duct tape. The duct tape was for sealing up the room when I was in it, of course, but also for grabbing these little parasites trying to suck up our house's warmth. I was merciful enough to let them have it, as long as they didn't dive me like the little fucking morons they were. I'd stick them to the tape and leave them there to die of starvation. I had rows of duct tape strips under my bed and out of sight with lines of stink bugs on them. Of course I had spray cans of vanilla air freshener down there too, but it was worth all the cans I went through. I used many cans and stored them under my bed as well. Airwick vanilla indulgence is good. So taking a shower one day to clean myself before going to the sterile white server room where I make my pittance my boss calls a salary, I saw a thorn bug, but not the usual affair. A somewhat large, pitch-black, 8-legged house spider that spun an absolutely gorgeous web. It was the kind of plastic black you see on top-of-the-line PC cases that haven't seen light or dust or age yet. He was high up in the shower, and I'm rather short, so he was out of my reach. I ignored him, killing all the stink bugs I could, showering and making my way out of the stink bug-infested house to my job. The next day, however, I saw the spider and I had a common interest, or motive. He very neatly wrapped up a stink bug in webbing and sucked out its insides. The next day, it was so again. His web was a graveyard for stink bugs, only rivaled by my duct tape cemetery. I gregariously and generously granted the spider amnesty. I gave this diplomat an apt name, the Cleaner, due to both his profession and location. He, like me, just wanted to keep his home clean. My mornings were brightened by the Cleaner. It wasn't long after I noticed the Cleaner's personhood that I realized the bathroom was clear of stink bugs. Word must have spread of my guard and the infestation was clear at not only my room, but the lavatory as well. I could shit in peace without having a foul smell around me, albeit strange with a cleaner sitting right there. My life was in an upswing until I made a startling revelation one day. I counted many times just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The cleaner was missing a leg. The cleaner never spoke. I was blind. How could I let my father do this? His leg. He was tall. How could he torture another soul? I couldn't look at my father. Not for days. I couldn't look at him. I stayed in my room as much as possible, and it was all bad now. Like when the infestation started, it was bad again. I remained calm. I'm smart enough as to not betray my motives. I got the arsenic. I poisoned him, just like the cleaner would do. Used poison. I took him to the shower to show the cleaner. He seemed in good spirits since I told him my plan. I had my father's circular saw ready when my brother arrived. I figured explaining why I killed father would be enough. However, things were less fortunate. He said my father didn't pull the cleaner's leg. He said that such a crime wasn't even worthy of execution. It seemed I was meant to be an only child. What's more, I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure just who hurt the cleaner. How naive I was. I made sure to sever a leg on each of them. Come summer, the heat brought a smell that betrayed me to the police. I was taken away from the cleaner. I miss him. I miss him every day. I wonder if he's fine. I imagine he is, but I'm not. I'm trapped with this wetback cellmate that butchers our language. And the stink bugs still find me in prison.